Basically, when we're working a cable, what we are doing is every few rows just knitting them in a different order. So instead of knitting across as 1, 2, 3, 4, we knit 3, 4, 1, 2, and that creates this cross. And what we'll do is, depending on if you hold the stitches to the front or the back, you will get either a right cross or a left cross. So that's what we're doing when we're cabling. So if you want to know, is it time to do the cable yet? How can I tell? You don't need to do hash marks on a piece of paper. You can just count the rows that are already done. And in this case, we are doing our cables every 6th row. We're doing a cable row and then 5 rows in between. And if you just stick your finger in here, you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running threads. This first running thread was the row that we did the cable, and so those other 5 are here, so it is time to do a cable. So that's how I do my counting. The other thing you can do is just put the needle in there, and then it's easy to see it as well. So that's just a little trick. So we just purl these first 2 stitches according to the chart. And then I get to the cable, and normally what it says is that I need to put these 2 stitches on a cable holder, put it to the back, and then knit these 2 stitches. That would be the traditional way to do it. And so you would put them, I don't have a cable holder, so I'll just use this. I'd put those to the back, and then I would knit these 2 stitches and then knit the 2 from the holder. What we're going to do instead is do the cabling without a cable needle or an extra needle. Make sure I don't split that. Okay. So what we're going to do is, if it says that these have to go to the back, that means these next 2 have to go to the front. So I'm going to grab them from the front. And I'm just going to insert the needle into those 2 stitches, that's stitch 3 and 4, because I want to work them first. I want them to be done before I knit 1 and 2. So I slip off 1 and 2 and quickly put them back on the needle, and then I put these 2 stitches on the needle, and I knit those 4. They're now in the proper order to make the cable crossing. And we can see that I have my cable. And it's just a faster method to do it this way. You don't have to grab another needle and all that. So we'll do another one. Here again it's a right cross, so I go, instead of doing anything with these, I skip them. If it says to hold them to the back, I bring my needle to the front because these 2 have to be in the front. So think of it that way. You kind of do the opposite. So I put that there, put those on there, and then knit 4. So when would I not use this method? I typically would not use the method if I had a huge cable and maybe crossing 6 across 6, like a 12-stitch cable. It's sometimes hard to get them all back on the needle because you do have to drop off some of the stitches, as we saw. So on this one, we are doing a left cross. So on a left cross, it's going to tell me to put these next 2 stitches on the needle and bring them to the front. And so I want the stitches 3 and 4 to be at the back. So I go with my tip to the back, and I put them into the 2 stitches like that. So as you can see, these are going to be at the front. So when I pull these stitches off, I just quickly grab them with my needle tip and then put these back into position, and then I knit these across. So you can do this fairly quickly. This works really well if you're doing traveling stitches. So a couple of knit stitches that are going across a reverse stockinette background. This makes it a lot faster. You just clip along as you move those stitches one way or the other. So that's how you do cabling without a cable needle.